When people think of farming, they think of tractors, weeds, and pesticides. However, there's a newer trend in farming. It's not just in the Midwest where the practices are starting to take place, but across the country as well. In tonight's From the Ground Up, we tell you about regenerative agriculture.
Every action of ours brings in an incremental improvement in the soil, in nutrient density, and in the way we plant, the choice of crops, so that there is a buildup of the soil, the nutrients in the crops improve, and at the same time we adopt low-cost technologies for farming.
Dr. Tamaya and his students at Maharashi University of Management are studying the regenerative process. They have started farming their own 1-acre plot of land by using the practices they have learned in class. And the process of regenerative farming doesn't have to start in a farm field.
We use compost, we use a little bit of paddy straw and a little bit of clay, and we compress them and make them ready and sow the seeds inside so that they germinate. It's like a microclimate that you're creating for the seed. And once the seedling comes out, we bring those soil blocks over here and we plant.
The next steps in the regenerative process aren't too different than those of a traditional farmer. The difference comes in the products that are used. Every ingredient has been created by the farm. That includes the compost, what is used to kill bugs, and something known as liquid manure.
These are the roots of the weeds that we have collected from our farm, and we allow it to ferment so that the microorganisms around the roots, they get into the solution, and then we spray it back into the soil so that we populate the soil with beneficial microorganisms.
A term that's consistently used by Dr. Tamaya is closed-loop system. It means not letting any resources in or out of the growing cycle, which also means farming can be less expensive. And the university has created its own sink basin and refrigeration system to prove that point.
Our own wash basin here out of 2x6s. We found food-grade quality containers at Menards. We put drains into them. So now we have a triple basin sink that we can wash our vegetables in 3 different stages. We priced out walk-in coolers of a commercial grade, and for about 2/3 of this size, it was $7,000. For this room and the room next to it, basically triple the size, we paid $8,000 using something called a CoolBot. So this is basically a tiny computer that tricks the air conditioner into cooling much colder than it normally does.
The reason regenerative agriculture isn't used more is because of how knowledge-intensive the practice is, as well as conventional farmers aren't quite sure they want to risk leaving a practice that is known to work for a practice that will take time to learn. But Dr. Tamaya wants to see this change take place with local students.
We get students from Washington, New York, and all other parts of the United States, but we want more students from this region, from the Midwest, who can be the real trendsetters or the change makers.
The students sell the products at the Fairfield Farmers Market. They also plan to sell the products to local grocery stores as well as to the Maharashi School cafeteria once they start farming on more land.